Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California, and today you are going to meet our sharks. My name is Madeline. I'm on the social media team here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and I am so excited to introduce you to all of our sharks. I know that sharks are a fan favorite of our animals here at the aquarium. You are always requesting them anytime we go live. So now, today, you are here. We're going to get an up-close view of them. I can't wait to get started. Hello, everybody. I want to let you know before we get started, our outdoor exhibits are open to the public here in Long Beach, California. So you can actually visit the Aquarium of the Pacific right now. And that includes the wonderful sharks you will see here in Shark Lagoon today. You can drop questions in our Q&A. And we are going to get started. Hello, everybody. All right. So, like I said, we are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Shark Lagoon. My name is Madeline. I'm the social media coordinator here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. And we are going to head over and meet Aquarist Rachel, who is going to teach us more about sharks. Hi, everybody. Can I get some shark emojis in the chat if you are excited to learn more about sharks today? I would love to see some shark emojis. Yay. Hello, everybody. All right. So we have Aquarist Rachel here. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great. How are you?
Good. What are you up to in there?
So I am in the water with our 7.5 feet long zebra shark. This is Fern.
Everybody say hi to Fern. Let's get some blue heart emojis in the chat for Fern. I know TikTok loves Fern. And what is Fern? What type of shark is she?
She's a zebra shark. The name is kind of confusing because, as you can see, she has spots and not stripes. But that name actually comes from her juvenile size when she actually had a bunch of zebra stripes. Now, as she grew and matured, those zebra stripes turned into spots. But we keep the name today.
Very cool. Oh, she's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about Fern? How old is she?
Yeah, she is 24 years old. She is a charter shark, which means she was here when the aquarium opened in 1998. And so we had her when she was a year old at that point. And sharks are super cool. They can go into this thing called tonic immobility. That's where you flip them onto their back. So you can see their adorable bellies here. And they kind of go into a catatonic state. And some sharks go into more of a sleepy state than others. You can actually feed Fern in this state. Do you want to see that?
Yeah, that would be amazing. What are you feeding her here?
I'm feeding her a variety of different food items that is based on a natural diet for her. She eats clam, squid, and a variety of different fish.
Very cool. There she is. So Rachel has her doing tonic immobility right now, and she's able to eat. Very cool.
Yeah.
Rachel, do you mind if I touch her belly while she's like this?
Absolutely.
All right, TikTok, together we are going to touch a zebra shark's belly. This is the best day ever. Oh my gosh, you guys, it kind of feels like sandpaper.
That's right. Those are called dermal denticles. And dermal denticles loosely translate into skin teeth. That means that these sharks have what type of scale that is coated in dentin. That's the same material that you'll find in your teeth. So
Whoa.
Sharks are fish, so they do have scales. Of course, their scales are very different than your typical fish that you're thinking of. But these dermal denticles are very rigid and tough and helps them to protect them from abrasions. And also helps them on the faster swimming sharks to swim even faster because it's very hydrodynamic. So it's a really cool adaptation for these animals.
Very cool. That's amazing. And just so everybody knows, we have a big jump in viewers. Hello to all of our 6,000 viewers. Welcome.
Hi.
We are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California, hanging out with Aquarist Rachel and Fern the zebra shark. And Fern is currently eating a delicious meal of sustainable seafood. Rachel, can you tell us again what she's eating today?
Yeah, she is eating clam, squid, and then there's pieces of mackerel, mahi-mahi, and mullet.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I try and feed her one?
Of course.
All right,
go
let's
for it.
do it, TikTok. Let's get some blue hearts in the chat if you want to see us feed Fern here today at the Aquarium of the Pacific. This piece looks delicious. What is this?
That's mullet.
Mullet. All right, Fern, here is some mullet. Let's get you over here.
Where's your nose?
Hey, lady, where's your
Oh,
nose?
no.
All right,
There you
let's
go.
get it in a good spot for her. There you go. Oh, good
Nice
job,
job.
Fern. That was amazing. Wow, you guys, we got to feed a shark on TikTok Live. How fun was that? And the fun is continuing. She still has a
Yeah.
lot to eat. Let's
does.
see if there are any questions about Fern. Rachel, is this water cold?
No, No, it is not cold. Zebra sharks are found in tropical areas in the Indo-West Pacific region. So we keep this water a nice 76 to 77 degrees.
Ooh, that sounds comfy.
Yeah, so comfy.
Rachel, how is it safe for you to be in the water with a shark right now?
That's a great question. Most sharks are not at all dangerous and not a threat to humans. A lot of media likes to portray sharks as a very scary, like man-eating machine, and they're not like that. Most sharks, when you see them out in the wild, want nothing to do with you. They would much rather just swim right past you and not even look at you. And so this is a natural behavior for these sharks. They are non-aggressive towards people. Now, of course, the flipping into tonic immobility is a trained behavior. It is not something that anyone should go out do in the wild.
No, we don't want that.
No. But the reason why we have this really crucial behavior in this animal is because we use this for our veterinary exams. By training her, her tail is in the way. She has a very long tail. But by training her to go into tonic immobility, we are able to do two things. We are able to allow our veterinary staff to take a really good look at her underside, and they can even do ultrasounds. We're able to take a look at all her reproductive organs that are on the inside, and then we can even do blood draws as well. We take a blood draw on the back of her tail. As you can see, she's so relaxed.
She really is.
She is used to this behavior, and she completely trusts us too. So it's pretty amazing.
She's an incredible shark. This is so cool that we're able to do this, and this is part of their healthcare here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Can you tell us a little bit more about their healthcare here at the aquarium? Am I blocking out the sun okay?
Oh,
is this good?
Great.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so we do regular exams on all of our sharks and rays here at the aquarium. We want to make sure that they are very healthy, so we look at their blood work, and then we even get weights and measurements. As you can see, she's so calm right now. It's very easy for us to take a measuring tape and actually get a really nice length on her. So like I said earlier, she's 7.5 feet long.
Wow.
And 130 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
She is amazing.
She is.
And you mentioned her reproductive organs that we're able to see when we do an ultrasound. Does she lay eggs?
She does. Zebra sharks do lay eggs, and I have one for you guys.
Ooh! Oh, TikTok, I'm so excited for you to see this. Okay, if you're just tuning in, we are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We are in Shark Lagoon, and we are going to learn more about the other sharks in Shark Lagoon shortly. But right now, we are hanging out directly with Fern and Aquarius Rachel. And Rachel has, let me get you out of the sun. There we go.
That's so bright. Thank you.
All right, no problem. What is this?
This is a zebra shark egg. So the Fern lays about, so there is no maternal care. These baby sharks will be in here for about 6 months, and when they hatch, they are completely self-reliant. So they are going to go ahead, swim around, and start eating the little like small crustaceans, the small fish, right?
It's amazing. All right, everybody, I think we are back. Okay, we are back. Yay! Awesome. Okay, can you repeat what you said? Sorry, it froze for quite a long time.
Oh, that's okay.
No problem. Let's talk about shark eggs again.
Yeah,
yay! Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. So this is a zebra shark egg, and this came from our zebra shark Fern, and she will lay about 4 to 6 eggs each in one setting, and she'll lay those every couple months or so. Now this is not fertilized. We do not have a male in this exhibit, so because of that, I'm able to showcase this to you out of the water. But if there was a baby inside, let's see, you can actually, even though it's not fertilized, maybe turn it up the other way.
Yeah, let's go on the other side.
You can still see a yolk. You can see
yeah,
that?
we can kind of see that. You see it's translucent on each
Yeah.
side. That is so cool. That's amazing.
So amazing.
Very cool. Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
All right, because we lost service for a second, I'm going to do another quick introduction. We are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. This is Aquarius Rachel. My name is Madeline, and we are hanging out with Fern the zebra shark.
Yes.
And Rachel is in the water with a shark. I just think that's so amazing. I know TikTok loves that too. Also, I wanted to say that someone on TikTok said that the shark egg looked like a tamale, and I think that's pretty accurate.
That
That was
awesome. I love
amazing.
that.
So Rachel, you are in the water with a shark. Can you tell us why that's okay here at the Aquarium of the Pacific?
Totally. The reason why that's okay to be in the water with our 7.5 feet long zebra shark is because sharks are actually not nearly as dangerous as people like to portray them out to be. Most sharks want to do their own thing, swim around. If they see or encounter a human, they're most likely to be afraid of that human and swim away. So you really have absolutely nothing to fear with sharks. As you can see, she likes to rest her nose on my foot. I don't know how well you can see that.
It's really sweet.
She's
just
cute.
booping your foot. That's adorable. That is so cute. And this is just a small portion of the exhibit. So why do we have her sectioned off right now?
Oh, that's a great question. So this is what's called the husbandry pool, and this is where we do a lot of our exams on our sharks and rays. We have quite a few other sharks and rays in our main exhibit of Shark Lagoon. And by having this in here, we are able to isolate that shark so we can have our veterinary team take a really good close look at that individual.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Should we feed her some more?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Would you like to feed
I
her?
would love to feed her. Rachel, while I'm feeding her, maybe you can talk about her teeth.
Yes, okay.
Here she comes.
We can get her up first.
Do you want me to get her target?
You don't need to get her target.
Okay. So a lot of the animals here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, especially the larger animals, are actually target trained. So they know when it's time to head over to part of the exhibit, oh, we're going to feed her while she's in tonic and mobility, that it's time to eat. Here you go, lady. There you go. She's like a mini vacuum. I love it.
She is. So
Rachel, can you tell us again what you're up to right now?
this is called tonic and mobility. All sharks can go into tonic and mobility. That's where you flip them onto their backs, and they kind of go into a catatonic state. Now, some sharks go into much deeper sleep than others. As you can see, Fern still loves to eat, even though she's in that catatonic state. And then we use this for our husbandry exams on these animals. It's important to make sure we're routinely checking these animals, getting blood work on them, and making sure that they are nice and healthy.
There you go. Squid, delicious.
So delicious. So by training them to go into tonic and mobility, we are able to have our veterinary team take a much closer look at that zebra shark.
That's amazing.
So cool.
Very, very cool. And someone asked, so they lay eggs here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We have a video of shark. I think you actually took it, Rachel. Reset of Fern the zebra shark laying an egg. It's a really cool thing to happen, but that egg is not fertilized, correct?
Not fertilized. We do not have males here in this exhibit, and because of that, these females will still continually lay their eggs, and they seem to be totally normal, like a fertilized egg. The only thing is that eventually, over time, this will deteriorate.
So here at the aquarium, we are able to use them for educational purposes.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool thing that we are able to do. But shark has, I keep calling her shark.
She's shark.
Fern the zebra shark. Fern, she has a name. Fern the zebra shark has had babies before here at the aquarium, right?
Yes. We have successfully artificially inseminated this zebra shark. She has 2 pups from that successful artificial insemination. And one we still have with us. Her name is Gatsby. She's in a tropical reef exhibit.
Yeah, we saw her earlier on TikTok Live.
Right. That's awesome.
So cool. All right, Rachel. Do you want to feed her some more?
Do you want to talk about her teeth?
Let's talk about her teeth.
Yes. So her diet is a lot of invertebrates, clams, and other hard-shelled food items. So she has really unique teeth. She is able to take her teeth and catch slippery prey like that squid, but she can also use it to crack open hard shells. Now, this is a jaw of a zebra shark, and you get a really good idea of how that looks. See how all of her really sharp pointed teeth are really flat along her jawline?
Yeah.
That allows her to crack open those hard shells, but they're also very sharp, so they're able to catch slippery prey as well.
Just like the squid you just fed her.
Just like the squid.
Very cool. And hey, I want to thank our 20 donors who have raised $245 for our nonprofit aquarium in the short amount of time. That is incredible. We appreciate your support so much. And once again, we are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, hanging out with Aquarist Rachel and Fern the zebra shark. I think we'll take a couple more questions with Fern. Let's see. What are you feeding her again? Let's talk about that.
Sure. So I've got a nice piece of squid.
Yum.
She eats a lot of invertebrates like squid, and we even have clam as well. And then we will even hide her vitamins in her food. Sharks are very good at finding their vitamins and they like to spit it out, so we have to be very clever with how we hide them. One of the best ones to hide in is clams. It's very chewy, and it's kind of hard for them to get the vitamin out of that.
Very cool. And I know we have a lot of Australians watching actually. And so Fern is a zebra shark here in the States, but they might know this species as...
the Australians might know this species as the leopard shark. The reason why we don't call her a leopard shark is because we already have a California leopard shark here, and we don't want that to be super confusing, so we call them a zebra shark.
Just a little confusing.
Just slightly.
Just a little bit. And how can you tell the difference between a boy shark and a girl shark?
Oh, that's a great question. So boy sharks will have these little elongations on the pelvic fins. The pelvic fins are the fins. Let me show you.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are here live at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and 20,000 people are watching us right now. You guys are all hanging out with us. Let's get some shark emojis in the chat if you're having a good time.
So these fins right here are the pelvic fins, and male sharks will have these little elongations here called claspers. And that's how you can tell a male from a female.
Very cool. All right, Fern, I think we are just about ready to go say hi to the other inhabitants of Shark Lagoon. But maybe we can feed her a couple more pieces of food.
If you like to.
All right, let's do it, TikTok. Let's get some shark emojis in the chat. I want to know if you are all having such a fun time with me on TikTok Live, because I am having an amazing time feeding Fern the zebra shark in her little mini vacuum mouth. It's really sweet. Rachel, what's your favorite part about working with sharks?
Oh my goodness.
I know.
There are so many.
Loaded question.
I love being able to interact with them and really get to see their different personalities. I love diving this exhibit. And I love talking to people and telling them that sharks are not that scary. There's so many people that come in and are very fearful of sharks, and I like being able to get them to interact with Fern and some of our other sharks and really get to see that they're not that scary at all.
Yeah, it's so true. And can you tell us a little bit more about the sharks we're going to meet next? What else lives in Shark Lagoon?
Yes, so we have 3 gray reef sharks. They're juvenile, so they're pretty tiny. They're just a couple feet long. And then we have our longest and largest shark in here, our sand tiger shark. And then we have one other zebra shark in here.
Very cool. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. And thank you to Fern. Let's get some blue hearts in the chat for Fern the zebra shark. She is kind of TikTok famous on her own. And we're going to meet another TikTok famous star in a few minutes. Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right. Hello, Danny.
Hey, Madeline.
Hi, how are you? Danny is an aquarist here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and he's also a shark expert. So can you tell us a little bit more about what we're going to see next?
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys saw Rachel feeding Fern, one of our zebra sharks. So now if we look over here, we've got 3 more folks, and Rachel's going to be joining this team here in a second.
Awesome.
So we are feeding the rest of the exhibit in here. So as Rachel said, we have another zebra shark. We've got a sand tiger shark. We've got 3 gray reef sharks and 2 black tips. So we have 4 different species of sharks in here.
That's amazing. All right, let's take a peek.
This, you guys will notice we kind of have to do it all at the same time. It's kind of a very synchronized,
Choreographed.
very choreographed. If we just fed one species at a time, you'd get the most aggressive shark kind of eating first.
Yeah.
So what we do is set up these stations. So you can see everyone's got their station. Everyone's got a target. All of our sharks are target trained as well as station trained. So you guys are going to see here in a second. It takes them just a little bit to kind of figure things out.
Yeah, to realize it's feeding time and what's happening next. So right now, what station are we at?
So right now we're at the gray reef sharks.
And not the zebra shark.
Not the zebra
who's coming
shark,
over
you
to...
saw, this is our other zebra shark baby.
This is baby, the zebra
She's
shark.
supposed to be feeding at the far end.
She
where
needs to
Alice
go
is
over
at.
there.
So
But maybe
figure
she
that out.
swung by to think, oh, maybe I'll just get fed over here today. Why not?
They definitely try to get a little extra here and there.
So I know today the focus of this TikTok Live is sharks, but we also have rays in this exhibit, and there's a really large one swimming by. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah, so right now we only have one species in here. It's our really large reticulated whiptail ray. That's our biggest fish here at the aquarium. She's coming in at
huge.
just over 400 pounds.
Very cool. And I want to thank the 44 supporters who have raised $490 for our nonprofit aquarium. That is incredible. Every dollar you donate goes right back to our animals, all 12,000 of them, here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. And you can actually visit our aquarium right now and see the sharks here in Shark Lagoon, as well as our penguins, lorikeet forest, and more. All right, so we are waiting right now for which shark?
The gray reef shark.
Gray reef sharks to swim by. We also have Aquarist Brianna here. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Say hi to TikTok.
Hi, TikTok.
What are you feeding our gray reef sharks?
So right now I just have a piece of herring. So they're going to get various types
Yum.
of fish and then also some swim. So
Very cool.
And then one of the cool things Brianna's doing here, if you guys take a look, this blue material in the water, we're doing some stretcher training. So some of the other training, I think Rachel mentioned, we do not only target training, station training, we also do stretcher training with a lot of our sharks. And the way we start that, obviously this isn't a full stretcher, but we start with a small size and then we slowly expand that to get larger and larger and kind of desensitize the animals. But stretcher training is another one of those great husbandry techniques that we can use to move our animals or if they need a procedure, an exam. And it's a lot less stress on the animals and us.
Definitely, and that is part of their daily health care here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Can you talk about a little bit more about the health care they receive on site?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a vet that's here on site, of course, as well as our awesome husbandry team here. And these sharks get fed 6 times a week. And it's on top of that, we dive in here periodically to clean, just to move things around. We try to enrich the animals by changing the habitat. We offer all sorts of enrichment items for the animals. Just really try to stimulate them and keep them kind of excited and motivated and just kind of things they would be finding in their natural habitat.
Very cool. All right.
So here's a gray reef going by.
There's a gray reef going by. And they kind of take their time with feeding. They know that they can kind of come back around.
Yeah, the gray reefs. We'll make it to the other stations. There's probably a little more action. The gray reefs
we can head over
the
there.
last ones to eat.
That's all good. We can head over to another station.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's take it out. Thank you, Brianna.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so we are behind the scenes here at Shark Lagoon at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. My name is Madeline. I'm on the social media team here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. And right now we are hanging out with Danny, who oversees this exhibit. We are very behind the scenes right now. This is exciting. If you are just tuning in, we just fed Fern the zebra shark, and now we are doing our larger feed. Who are we feeding over here?
All right, so now we're here with Aquarist Melissa.
Hello.
And Melissa's feeding our big stingray that we talked about just a few minutes ago, our big reticulated whiptail ray. And she's also, if he shows up, feeding our sea turtle. We actually have a sea turtle in here as well. Now it's going to be hit or miss whether he shows up.
Swam by a minute ago. All right.
Well, a lot
Well,
of times he's under his rock.
I want to talk about this guy for a second because this guy is super popular. Who is that?
Yeah, so there goes Rachel. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a cool shot. Rachel got our big sand tiger.
Yay!
So that's a big guy. That's our sand tiger shark. He's our biggest shark here. And I actually have something cool. I don't know if you guys saw this yet.
No, we haven't
This is
yet.
one of Big Guy's teeth.
So that is Big Guy, the sand tiger shark's one of his teeth.
So
How did we get that?
yeah, great question. So if you guys look down in the sand down there, there's hundreds of these teeth. Our sharks actually lose their teeth all day. They just periodically fall out, and they have kind of a rotating jaws that just more teeth come up from behind. So we find tons of teeth every day we dive in here.
That is so cool. And right now that whip ray, oh, I don't think she took that piece. That's okay. Danny, sharks and rays are related, correct?
Correct. Yep. They're what we call elasmobranchs. So they're pretty much like cousins. But they don't have any bones in their bodies.
Oh, wow. They don't have any bones?
So they're made of cartilage, which is pretty much what you find on the tips of your nose and ears. So that's why sometimes you see them, they can be really flexible and they can turn on a dime. And it just makes them really kind of, I think Rachel was talking about earlier, really hydrodynamic.
Yeah, you can actually touch sharks here at the Aquarium of the Pacific.
And
Oh,
here he comes.
hello, sir. Real quick, you can touch sharks here at the Aquarium of the Pacific right over there in our Shark Lagoon touch pools. But who is this here?
So this is Theo, and you can see that target. He's also target trained, but it's a lot of folks might recognize that. It's just a Kong on the end of a rope, like you'd have for
A little
your
dog toy. Yep, my dog has one of those.
So Theo's target trained. He follows that Kong over to his food, and you can see Melissa's giving him clam and squid and fish.
Ooh, yummy. So a lot of people ask, why do we have a turtle in Shark Lagoon?
Yeah, I mean, where else are we gonna
Why
put him,
not?
right? He's so cool in here.
He is so cool in here.
But you would find them. You would find them where you find some of these sharks. So again, we always try to replicate natural habitats as much as possible. So Theo totally makes sense in here. He's an olive ridley sea turtle. And we have another olive ridley and a green sea turtle in other parts of the aquarium.
That is so cool. Yeah, Theo here was actually rescued as an egg and has been a part of our aquarium since we opened in 1998. So he is over 20 years old. And his counterpart Lou lives in Tropical Reef. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been so much fun. We are going to keep the party going. Right now we are hanging out with Theo the sea turtle. He's an olive ridley sea turtle here in Shark Lagoon. And I know this live promoted sharks, so we're gonna get back to sharks. Let's see. What is Rachel feeding over here?
Rachel's now feeding our black tips. So
very cool.
Here's some more target training. She's got that little orange buoy on the end of that pipe. So we have them follow that right before we feed them. So we really want to associate that target with food. That way, if we need to move their station or if we need to move them around, we can just take that target. And if we want to feed them on the other end of the exhibit one day, we can do that.
Oh, that's great. So they know when they see that target, no matter where it is in the exhibit, that is time to feed.
And that's considered enrichment. You know, feeding an animal in the same place every day can be kind of mundane. So we like to mix it up. We'll change the station sometimes and feed them on the other side, and that kind of stimulates them to think a little bit, move around, follow that target, and look for that food.
How fun. And right now you can actually meet our sharks and rays up close when you book a shark and ray encounter. That information is at the link in our bio. And if you want to continue this stream after we are done streaming here on TikTok Live, there is actually a camera inside of this exhibit, so you can watch it pretty much 24/7. I think it just turns off when it gets really dark out. But you can watch that via the link in our bio thanks to our explore.org webcams. All right, Danny, another question for you. How many types of sharks are in Shark Lagoon?
So we have 4 different species of sharks in here. We've got the sand tiger, the gray reefs, the zebra sharks, and then the black tips right here.
Very cool. That's amazing.
So we got some pretty good diversity in here. And the species we have the most of are going to be the gray reefs. We've got 3 of those. We've got 2 females and 1 male in here. And they're usually together. During feeding time, they usually split up a little bit, but it's kind of cool when you see all 3 of them schooling up together.
And what's the biggest shark we have in here?
Biggest shark's going to be Big Guy, our sand tiger.
Big Guy, our sand tiger shark.
Very appropriately named.
He really is.
He's coming by.
He's coming by. Let's see if I can get a good view of Big Guy, the sand tiger shark. And so Big Guy, you can't really see it from up here, but down below we have a viewing window. But he has a gorgeous smile with rows and rows of teeth. He's the star of many of our TikToks, so if you go through our feed, you'll for sure see him. But speaking of his teeth, let's see if we can see one of his teeth again.
Another shot of it. And Big Guy is coming in these days at about 170 pounds, about 9 feet long.
That's amazing. He is a really, really cool shark. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
We were showing you eggs earlier.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they look like when we find them in the exhibit. They've got those tendrils coming off of them, and that's what the sharks will use to kind of wrap around the rocks or corals. And they'll use that to kind of hide the eggs out in nature.
Yeah, we learned all about eggs a little bit ago with Aquarius Rachel and Fern, the zebra shark, over there in that holding pool. And right now we are on the other side of Shark Lagoon. Danny, do you know how large Shark Lagoon is? How many gallons of water this is?
Yep, Shark Lagoon is about 90,000 gallons.
90,000 gallons here.
In total. So we've got the main pool you guys are looking at, and then all the way to the left is where Rachel was with Fern, is what we call our husbandry pool. So you can probably see we have a gate that opens up. So we can open that gate, and a lot of the sharks are trained to go in there, and that's where we do procedures or exams like Rachel was talking about. And then once we're done, we just open up the gate, they come back out to the main pool.
That is awesome. I want to thank our 68 supporters who have raised $690 for our nonprofit aquarium. That is incredible. That money goes right back to the animals you know and love, all 12,000 of them here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Danny, how long do sharks live? What's an average life cycle?
So it'll depend on the species, but you know, a safe number is anywhere from 20 to 40 years.
Wow.
It's kind of a big range.
That's great.
But it's kind of species specific. And we've got some animals here. I think Rachel may have talked about it, but Fern's one of our original animals. She's about 21 or 22 years old. Big Guy is, I believe he turned 21 this year. One of our black tips is also an original shark, so she's about 21.
Very cool. And what are some dangers that sharks face in the wild?
So definitely overfishing and just you know, harvesting. A lot of people probably know about shark finning, things like that. So the short answer is humans. Humans is probably the worst thing sharks face out there. And then of course climate change is changing the ocean altogether. So sharks are dealing with things like that, just ocean acidification and water quality and things like that.
Of course. And so the sharks here at the Aquarium of the Pacific are amazing ambassadors for their own species, because we get to educate the public all about sharks, and sharks kind of get a bad reputation, right, Danny?
They do, and I have to say, they're definitely the coolest animals we have here at the aquarium.
Are they your favorite?
Oh, by far.
Do you have a favorite shark here at the Aquarium of the Pacific?
I probably shouldn't, but it's this guy.
That one's also mine. Big Guy is also my favorite shark here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. And if you go through our feed, you can see his big smile. Big Guy's big smile. He is a very, very cool shark. And all of our sharks kind of have their own distinct personalities, right?
Yeah, they definitely do. That's one thing, you know, as you work with them for years and years, you really start to get to know them. And it's even the same species. Like, we have 3 of the gray reef sharks, but each one of them has a different personality. The same thing with our 2 black tips. And, you know, we use that to our advantage sometimes when it comes to feeding or things like that.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Can we talk about one more time what they eat here at the aquarium?
Yeah, so they get a pretty good variety, but we do different kinds of fish, squid, clams, mussels. What am I forgetting? Yeah, probably that's most of it. And as far as fish, we do mackerel, mullet, sardines, herring, capelin. So we try to mix it up just so they get a good variety.
That's incredible. And we have Theo, the sea turtle, coming back over.
Yeah, and Theo gets pretty much the same diet. One thing we also do, I think Rachel also talked about, is give them vitamins. So we do have to kind of hide vitamins in their food from time to time. Mm-hmm. And they're pretty good at trying to spit it out.
Trying to find it.
Kids.
Or my dog is the same way too.
Yeah,
yep, totally. Do you mind if we go up on the platform and get another view? All right, let's head up these stairs. Thank you, TikTok, so much. This has been so much fun hanging out with you, and we are not done yet. We are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California, where you can actually visit these same sharks and rays we are meeting today here on TikTok Live. Oh, this is a really cool view. I'm happy about this. I don't know if I've been up here before. Yeah, this is awesome. So you can see just how big Shark Lagoon is. All 90,000 gallons. Very, very cool. And what is that shark right there closest to us?
That's one of the gray reef sharks.
So that's one of the gray reef sharks. Yeah. And then we have a black tip.
Our black tips, yep.
Swimming by. Very cool. And once again, what do they eat here at the Aquarium of the Pacific?
So yeah, again, different types of food: fish, squid, clams, mussels, a bunch of different types of fish. So a really good variety. We want to make sure we mix it up and they don't get the same thing all the time.
Definitely. And you can actually touch our sharks here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Right over there, right off camera, right over here, is our Shark Lagoon touch bowls, where you can touch sharks and rays when you visit the Aquarium of the Pacific. You can also touch more rays upstairs on our California terrace. And you can also meet a shark and ray up close when you book a shark and ray encounter. It's really awesome. Danny, a lot of questions we're getting is, what would happen if I jumped in right now? I'm not going to, but what would happen?
Yeah, we actually get that question quite a bit.
Yeah, I promise I won't.
And I can tell you what would happen is all the sharks would swim completely the other direction.
They would not want anything to do with me, right?
They would get really scared and spooked and swim as far away from you as they can.
Yeah, which we don't want to do. But we do have divers in here pretty often.
We do. We get in a couple times a week, as I mentioned, to clean, and we collect eggs. We kind of move the rocks around to just change the habitat for enrichment. And, you know, divers, it's also enriching for the animals to have divers in here. And there's really no fear. You know, we always go in pairs just to keep an eye on each other. But the sharks really want to stay as far away from us as possible.
That's right. And here we have our star coming by. Big Guy, the sand tiger shark. And yeah, I think like I said, sharks get a bad reputation, but if I were to jump right in right now, they would not want anything to do with me. And when our divers are in the water, I think everybody's pretty polite in there and kind of just gets out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, when the divers are in, I think you mentioned you guys can check out the underwater camera. It's cool to see when the divers are in there cleaning. You can see what the sharks are doing and how they're reacting.
Very cool. All right, everybody, we are going to start wrapping it up. I want to thank our 76 followers who have raised almost $800 for our nonprofit aquarium. If we got that to $800, I would just be so thrilled. If you can spare $5 to donate to our nonprofit aquarium, that would be incredible. TikTok shows us so much love all the time. We have so much fun with you all, and we appreciate your support more than you know. Once again, we are live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California, where you can actually visit this same exhibit, our Shark Lagoon exhibit, and say hi to all of our sharks in person for only $19 a person. And all of that information is at the link in our bio, including our Shark and Ray encounter, which you can book right now. All right, everybody. I want to say thank you to Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, so much for chatting with us and getting in the water with Fern. That was awesome. And thank you, Danny. Thank you so much for educating us more about sharks. It was so much fun hanging out with you all on TikTok. Definitely check out the underwater camera. It is incredible. And hey, we got to $835 and it keeps climbing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Can we get to 900? That would be amazing. Let's see if we can get there. In the meantime, we'll talk a little bit more. We'll extend it a few more seconds. Danny, once again, what is your favorite animal in this exhibit?
So it's gonna have to be Big Guy, our sand tiger.
Big Guy,
he's on the other end right
shark.
now. We'll see if he cruises by.
He's over there on the other side.
So he's just too cool.
Can we see his tooth one more time?
Yeah, definitely.
This
And we were
is so
talking
cool.
about personalities later. He probably has the biggest personality.
Big
here in
guy
Shark
has the
Lagoon.
biggest personality. I
So
believe
very
that.
appropriate.
Is
yeah,
that a pretty sharp tooth?
It's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can see, you can tell a lot by a shark's tooth, kind of what they eat and what they survive on. So Big Guy has these really long, smooth teeth. They're not serrated like a great white. So he doesn't really saw his food like a great white would. It's very smooth. So he pierces. Like in the wild, he'd pierce fish and just completely cut a piece off. So when you see a shark's tooth that's serrated, you can almost tell they use it more like a saw where they kind of grind through.
And how did we get this tooth?
So they drop teeth all day. So when we get in here to dive, we can just sift through the sand and come out with half a dozen to a dozen teeth of all different species.
How many teeth does Big Guy have that he could just lose them like that?
He'll go through about 30,000 in a lifetime.
30,000 teeth in a lifetime. That is incredible.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, we are at $950, $975. If we get to 1,000, that would be incredible. I know I kept you guys in suspense, but we will wrap it up here in just a few minutes. I want to thank TikTok so much. We have so much fun on these live streams. Definitely tune in for our next live next Tuesday at 3 p.m. same time. 3 p.m. Pacific. We are live every Tuesday here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. And someone said that the webcam link wasn't working. Try again in a few minutes. Sometimes when it gets overloaded, we get too popular sometimes, but it'll be up there soon. We raised $1,000 for our nonprofit aquarium. Thank you so much to our 105 donors. And thank you again to Aquarius Rachel, Aquarius Danny, and all of our staff here at the Aquarium of the Pacific and our incredible sharks. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Bye-bye, everybody.